Hello, I'm Rob Thomas with Club and Resort Business, and welcome to another episode of Club and Resort Talks. Today's episode is sponsored by Club Caddy, the cost-effective, cloud-based, and simple-to-use course management software was built by golf industry professionals. It includes retail, food and beverage, mobile point of sale, tee sheet, starter sheet, activity and lesson booking, venue management, event management, customer marketing and accounting reports, and so much more. Learn more at clubcaddy.com. And hey, now that we've got clubcaddy.com marked down as our sponsor, I want to throw it to Phil Keren, our senior editor. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing well, Rob. How are you?
Oh, terrific. I can't complain. Memorial Day weekend's here, so it's the start of summer, right?
It is. That's right. Our unofficial start of summer, and looking forward to it. Our weather's going to be nice here, and hopefully it's nice for most folks around the country too.
Yeah, no kidding. Speaking around the country, what kind of news are you seeing around the industry?
Well, a couple, as I was just telling you before, a couple positive stories, actually both golf courses in South Carolina, two golf courses in South Carolina that are reopening after being closed for a number of years. One case down in it's Johnsonville, South Carolina. There's a club there. Wellman Golf Club is reopening after being closed for 13 years. As I understand it, they were open for about 40 years, closed in 2010 after they club filed for bankruptcy protection. Looks like the local government played a role in getting the operation running again, though. Florence County purchased the golf course property in 2020, and then the following year entered into a 50-year lease with the city for construction and operation of the course. And then, as I understand it, the county voted to give the city $3.9 million from sales tax money to help reopen the golf course. So it's exciting. Harold Perry is going to serve as both golf pro and general manager of the club. And he's excited because he's going to try to get some, as I understand it, some tournaments there. And just thought it was an interesting story because it's unusual to see a course reopen after being closed for such a long period of time like that.
Yeah, surprising that over the course of those 13 years, nothing was done with the property. You know, it wasn't redeveloped into housing or retail or some kind of a thing. So the fact that it was still there, and I'm sure it wasn't being maintained, but that they could bring it back, it's another one of the wins, right? We've got a lot of positive stories coming out of COVID. As bad as COVID was, it's been great for the golf industry. So, hey, kudos to Wellman.
Absolutely. And you echoed what I was thinking there too, was that, yeah, it surprised me that the land in question hadn't been used for something else over this period of time. And the other note about that was that, as I understand it, Rees Jones architect was hired to help rebuild the course. So a well-known architect.
That's gonna be fantastic. He just did the Broken Sound Club, the old course at Broken Sound Club. Rees Jones is he's a wizard, so that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. The other one was actually also in South Carolina. Cat Island Club in Beaufort, South Carolina, was recently purchased by Resort Development Partners of Virginia. And as I understood it before, it had been ownership of the property had changed hands several times. The course had kind of fallen into a state of disrepair and had actually been closed since 2019. And actually, this course was designed by George Cobb, who, as I understand, is also the designer of the 9-hole par 3 course at Augusta National. So anyways, but this course now is going to reopen, and it's going to be, as I understand, it's being transformed also into a fully private club. I guess it was a it's being transformed into a fully private club now, and it's going to open actually this weekend coming up. I'm sorry, I was starting to say before, it was a semi-private golf course, originally opened in 1985, and then, yes, closed in 2019. But it will reopen as a fully private club on the Memorial Day weekend. So again, another good situation there to see. Fairly unusual, I feel like, to see golf courses being reopened after being closed for such a long period of time. You referenced COVID, and obviously in both of these cases, we're talking about situations where they were closed before we had the pandemic happen.
Yeah, I mean, the industry was seeing, down for years. And Joe Barks and I, when Joe was still here, wrote a lot of articles about, clubs closing, economic reasons, being redeveloped. Now we're seeing the other news. You get the benefit from all the good news. Now that you're here, senior, you must be the good luck charm, Phil.
I'd like to think that. That's good. I like thinking I'm a good luck charm. No doubt
Well,
about that.
Both of those articles are on clubresortbusiness.com. So go ahead and check those out. Also on clubresortbusiness.com right now, George Laffey, who's the Racquets director at, I'm going to probably butcher this, Nashawtuc Country Club. I don't know. It's probably some kind of a tribal name. And I hope I don't butcher it too much, but it's in Concord, Mass. He wrote a column for us on his journey, basically, as a rackets director. He's a rackets professional, not just a tennis pro anymore, right? So with pickleball and squash and platform tennis, pop tennis, all these other variations of racket sports, you have to be more than a one-trick pony these days. You're a rackets professional. You're not a tennis pro anymore. So all the certification, how important it is for continued education. He wrote about all that. So that's on there, as well as your column, your most recent column on springtime meaning lesson time. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, I did. I got a chance to correspond a little bit with some pros at some clubs around the country to talk a little bit about kind of tips they would offer to people if you're somebody out there interested in learning to play the game of golf, advice that they would have for beginners. One piece of advice that I thought was good, and I'm sorry, right now I forget which professional offered this piece of advice, but he suggested the idea of actually finding a friend who also is at the same level of you as far as skill level with golf, and taking lessons together and kind of making a social occasion, maybe go out for drinks or a meal afterward. And I thought that was a great idea. It actually cued a memory for me in my going back a couple decades when I was fresh out of college. I grew up playing golf, played very little tennis. One of my friends I grew up with said, "Hey, I never really learned to play tennis." I said the same thing. And he said, "Hey, why don't we take lessons together?" I thought it's a great idea. Honestly, I don't think either one of us individually would have decided to go over there and take lessons it's a club I grew up at, which I've written about before too, and done that, but it worked out very well. And yeah, as far as the golf lessons, the other tip was the big one that came to mind, of course, was deciding kind of where you want to go with it, how much you expect of yourself. As you and I know, golf requires a lot of patience, a lot of discipline. So I think this sort of encouraged people to go into it with realistic expectations was another big tip that came from our pros out of that. And I think that was a good tip to keep in mind. And I think
That's smart.
It's important for people who haven't played before to understand that. It takes a while. I think unfortunately, the older you get, you're a little slower to pick up things and pick up skills. So that patience thing is a very important characteristic to have.
Yeah, people want to be great right away at something, and it's difficult. A lot of building blocks.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that was one thing I had asked the pros. I said, "What's we talked, of course, about reasons why people take the lessons in the first place, but then what's the reason why they don't continue with it?" And of course, I mean, obviously the time issue is always at play, but the other big reason is they're not seeing improvement as quickly as they would have liked. So again, the patience thing is very important with it.
I understand. Hey, give us a quick little teaser. You had an interesting conversation with a couple of industry professionals recently, and that's going to be our feature here on this podcast. Give us a little heads up if you could.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, we've had, as folks know who follow us, we're in the middle of doing our top ranked program here. And we're actually right now wrapping up the top ranked racket facilities. But for our May issue, we had the top ranked aquatics and pools facilities. Very quickly, our top 5, we had Broken Sound Club at number 5 from Boca Raton, Florida. Number 4 for top ranked aquatics was Champions Run in Omaha, Nebraska. 3, The Landings Golf and Athletic Club in Savannah, Georgia. Number 2, Hunters Run Country Club in Boynton Beach, Florida. And landing at the top spot, I don't know if you want to do a drum roll, Rob, or anything like that?
There we go.
Number one was Clubs of Kingwood in Kingwood, Texas, our top-ranked aquatics and pool facility for 2023. And along with that, I recently got to speak with Patrick Pettit, general manager of the club, and Katie Stowers, director of the club's fitness and sports center. Talked, of course, about the club receiving the honor, learned a little about the club's history, as well as what they offer that they feel differentiates them from other clubs, other aquatic facilities at other clubs. They also discussed, just to tease that, also discussed a change they made with their lifeguard staff that led to a lot of positive feedback from their membership. And I think other folks in our industry would be interested to hear what happened with that and what transpired.
Fantastic. Let's get to it.
The May issue of Club and Resort Business included our annual listing of top-ranked aquatics and pools. This year, the Clubs of Kingwood in Kingwood, Texas, earned the #1 ranking on our annual listing. Joining me today on Club and Resort Talks to discuss this honor are Patrick Pettit, General Manager of the Clubs of Kingwood, and Katie Stowers, Director of the club's Fitness and Sports Center. Patrick and Katie, thanks for joining me on Club Resort Talks.
Absolutely, Phil. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure to have you on. Patrick, first, as General Manager of the club, what does it mean to you and your staff to receive this honor?
Yeah, thanks, Phil. This is an amazing honor to be recognized. We're very appreciative of the recognition. And although we've been recognized a number of different times over the years by Club and Resort Business for various facilities here at the club, this is our first #1. So we're truly prideful and also very thankful as well. The club is very much all about human connection, but we're very proud of the facilities that we have that allow us to build relationships and enrich lives with our members.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about the club's history.
Well, you really have to go back to the fall of 1969, when two men joined forces to form a historic alliance that would mold the future of the entire Kingwood community. Robert H. Dedman, the founder of Kingwood Country Club and also Club Corp, now invited, along with John Turner, president of Friendswood Development Company, they formulated a novel idea to build the golf course before any houses were built. And following the grand opening of the Island Course in 1974, that's the first of 5 of our golf courses, and the Kingwood Country Club clubhouse, additional facilities came on very quickly thereafter. So as the community grew, the club also grew. And then prior to the addition of the Fitness and Sports Center in 2009, we did have a few pools here at the club, but certainly nothing like the wonderful facilities that we have current day.
Very good. And of course, you're honored for the aquatics and pools by our magazine. And I guess that would lead me to the next question. Katie, as I understand it, the club's water park offers 5 different recreational areas. Can you talk about the features of each of those areas?
Yes, we have an incredible complex of 5 incredible pools. We have our adult pool that is heated year round. So we can use that year round for lap swim, for water aerobics, and the personal trainers are now even using it for water therapy. We also have a kiddie pool. That's for the little ones that just want to getting around the water for the first time. And then we have a lazy river for our members participating in a tube, being in a tube, floating around, relaxing with their friends. We also have a family pool that has 2 diving boards along with a basketball hoop. We have 2 slides, a slide pool as well with 2 slides, one with an enclosed slide that's a little smaller, and then we have an open slide that's with a wading pool at the end. So those are our incredible features of the pools themselves.
Excellent. So it really sounds like you have something for every age group.
Correct.
Every ability level, every, I guess, level of adventuring spirit somebody has, or lack thereof, maybe, but
Right.
something that everybody has an opportunity to enjoy, no matter age or ability.
Correct.
Very good. What is it? I mean, you just talked about the different areas that are there, but what is there anything in particular within the aquatics and pools facilities that you really think distinguishes Clubs of Kingwood from other clubs?
Well,
What
we
makes-
also have 9 cabanas that are rental throughout the park itself. We also have flick and floats that we have throughout the summer. We have a DJ, so we have various parties throughout the year as well. So our members get to come enjoy that all summer, like it's basically a big party all summer long.
Excellent. Sounds like fun. Also, lots of classes though offered as well. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Tell
Our
us
water
about-
aerobics as well. So we have, we call it hydro fitness. And we do, in the winter, we only use the heated pool, but then throughout the summer, we're allowed to, or not allowed to, we use the lazy river to do water backwards walking in the lazy river, so against the current. And then we also utilize our family pool for water aerobics as well, and swim lessons.
Okay, very good. And with swimming, I know, Patrick, when we had put together the article for the May issue for Clubs of Kingwood receiving the top ranking for top ranked aquatics and pools, you had talked about a little bit the club's decision to switch from contracted lifeguards to on-staff lifeguards. And as I understand it, that was helpful, generated a lot of positive feedback from your members. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And in hindsight, one of the best decisions we've made in recent years for sure. But like other private clubs, our goal is to be truly a home away from home for our members. And quite frankly, after a less than optimal water park summer season in 2021, we made a decision to move on from our contracted lifeguards and bring that component of the operation in-house. And although it's quite a bit more expensive to field a team of lifeguards as our own employees, it really provided us a fantastic opportunity to bring them into our culture. And it proved absolutely worth it for the members and for the employee team, quite frankly. 2022 was a big success. The member survey that was done most recently confirmed that out of all of the areas of the club, and this is a big place, very unique place, the water park experience was the most improved over the previous year. So enrolling the lifeguard team into the service culture, along with the drive to become the friendliest club in the market, paid dividends in elevating the member and employee experiences, the water park to reach the levels, quite frankly, that we're providing in all the other areas of the club. And all of this was only possible due to the strong leadership that Katie and her team provided. But again, one of the best decisions easily that we've made in recent years, and we're already off to a great start this season.
Okay. Tell me a little bit though on the feedback you received from members about the water park. What did they actually then talk about? Were they happy with the lifeguard service and things like that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, from the lifeguard perspective, I think they offered a much more personalized experience for families as they came in. The friendliness factor was off the chart compared to where we were previously. And I know Katie talked a lot about the programming and the product, the features of the water park, but we also have a very, very strong food and beverage offering that includes a Kahuna Cafe with a great menu with some healthy options, believe it or not. And then also the Field Bar, which is everything liquor, beer, and wine that you can think of. And the talented bartender team there are providing some daily specials as well. But it all came together, both food and beverage and lifeguard offering, to provide just a very heightened service level. And again, one that's comparable to the rest of what we're doing here at the club.
We also offer poolside service as well. So the food and beverage go around and offer poolside service. But I also, to talk about the lifeguards for a minute, I do believe that the lifeguards feel a part of us now. They don't feel like, they feel like they really are a part of our team. And I think that made a difference in how they presented themselves, how they were among the members.
Right. That makes, I was thinking that along that same line, that there's perhaps a greater sense of ownership among the lifeguard staff than there was in the past, right?
Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, Katie and her team have just onboarded 45 lifeguards for the summer season. So that I'd share that simply because it really reflects the size of the operation that we have at the water park. And to be able to upgrade the level of service to the members given that is not an easy task. So again, I commend the team and what we've been able to accomplish.
And actually, on that point, that brings up something too. Have you actually seen an increase of membership numbers due to the lifeguarding and the positive feedback you received about the water park facilities?
Yeah, I mean, we track participation there at the water park, and what we've seen is an overall increase, but we also see some of the same families using the water park more often. And so it's new visits, but it's also additional visits by our membership. So very proud of that, and I think that's a great testimony again to what's taken place over in Katie's area.
Excellent, excellent. As you were saying too, I think you've told me in the past you value the human connection, and that's emphasized a lot throughout
Right.
the culture of your club.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're serving a very large membership, and our goal is still to become very intimate and personal with our over 3,000 members, families that we have. It's not an easy task, but we're certainly geared up for it, and that's a focus of all of us, especially the lifeguard team, since they've joined our culture.
Okay. Tell us also, and I guess this could even go outside of the aquatics and pools facilities, what else is being done to sort of improve the member experience at Clubs of Kingwood?
Do you want to take that one, or do you want?
Whoever.
There's a lot of improvements.
Yeah, there's a lot of improvement, Phil. We're really focused on listening to the members. And so we have a very active and engaged committee structure with 10 active committees, plus a board of governors. And so, as you know, they provide feedback ongoingly. And so we've really taken to heart what they've shared with us as to how we can improve the experience. Specifically, I mean, really, it comes down to people, programming, and the overall product. So I think it comes in a number of different areas. I can't really speak to anything specific, but I think we're focused on continuous improvement in all areas. And we've had success again by partnering what the team knows and feels and provides as feedback, but also coupled with the member feedback that we're getting as well.
Okay, very good. Facility wise, is there anything planned with facilities as far as upgrades or improvements that are coming up that you might want to share?
Yeah, quite frankly, we're in a really good spot from a facility standpoint. I hate how we got here because it came courtesy of Hurricane Harvey just a few years ago. But our club has gone through nearly a complete rebuild since the flooding of our club and the community. And so facility-wise, we're in great shape outside of some bunker work and some other things on our golf courses. We don't have anything planned for the immediate future, but certainly from a capital standpoint, we're again working with our committees, working with our corporate team to come up with those priorities. But at the moment, we're in great shape and don't have anything planned here for the next 6 months.
Right. But looking forward, obviously, to a fun summer season here coming up.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Okay.
We open this weekend for real.
yeah, there you go. Right. Oh, that's right. All water facilities open this weekend then?
Correct. We've been open on the weekends in May. We opened the first weekend in May just for weekends only, but we're about to hit the ground running. I think we go actually almost 8 days straight before a break because of the Memorial Day holiday. Normally we're closed on Mondays.
Oh, right. But obviously this with the holiday, you'll be open and expecting plenty of members to come by and enjoy things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't wait, really.
The opening Saturday, Phil, we saw 400 plus members, and we're expecting even larger crowds this weekend, but we're geared up and ready. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
No rain.
That's right. Cross your fingers, right?
Cross the fingers, that's right.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, again, I congratulate both of you and everybody at Clubs in Kingwood on receiving our honor, Club and Resort Business top-ranked aquatics and pools facility, Clubs of Kingwood in Kingwood, Texas. Patrick and Katie, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And
thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Phil. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. And folks, for listening today, or who are listening today, just a reminder, visit clubandresortbusiness.com for more news in the industry and to see this episode and other episodes of Club and Resort Talks. As always, take care, stay well, and have a great day.